Welcome back. We have two missions in this first video in the Long Range series. Our first mission is to bring scientific method, careful observation, and cold rational thought, rather than strong opinion, to our avocation. Our next mission in this video is to complete 4 tasks. We are first going to figure out what your long-range mission is. I will ask you to put numbers on your goal so that you'll know when you reach that goal. Second, we're going to assemble all of the needed equipment. Importantly, your rifle and scope, spotting scope supports, the right kind of ammunition, other essential gear. Third, I will convince you of the need for a partner, a spotter, and why a good spotter will help you rapidly move up your path to excellence. Finally, we will consider the underlying theme of this video and my continuing goal to help you bring evidence-based decision-making, scientific method to your shooting so you avoid bad advice, frustration, and false starts at the range, and avoid spending too much money. You ready? Let's get started. Friends, the foundation of successful long-range shooting rests upon 4 pillars. We, the shooters, no surprise, are the first pillar. Second is our platform, especially rifle and scope. Third, atmospherics, especially the wind and gravity. And fourth, having the best ammunition possible for our rifle. Good for us. Most of the important steps can be taken in the comfort of your own home. This series of videos will address, and I hope solve, each one of those problems for you, your equipment, and your own anatomy and physiology. To begin with, it's essential for you to figure out your goal, your mission. Just how far out you'd like to shoot with precision. What size target, at what distance would you like to hit consistently? I know, everybody would like to be able to hit that 12-inch steel plate at a mile. That goal right now, friends, is simply not realistic. I recommend you start out with something achievable, some goal you can reach without spending a great deal of money. Say, keep 95% of your hits in a 9-inch circle at 600 yards. Once you can consistently hit that target, it will be time to progress to longer and longer distances, and only then to start spending your hard-earned money on better equipment. You're going to have to gather some specialized equipment. You know that. But before you run out and spend a whole lot of money, let's proceed down your knowledge path using equipment you already likely have in your safe. Our first steps will be to assemble the basic equipment you'll need at home, get familiar with it at home, tune it and you to the maximum possible readiness and comfort level. My first assumption, it is likely that you are experienced at least in some parts of the shooting sports, or you wouldn't be looking at this post. So you probably already have much of the equipment in hand right now. What I'm going to suggest to you is that you assemble it, get it organized, make it fit perfectly to you and your own anatomy. Then and only then, take it to the range. We'll begin with a rifle. You probably have an adequate rifle in your safe right now. Yes, you can start out with a .22 rimfire, but you are certain to need a centerfire rifle. Some rifles, some calibers, will be better than others, but we will leave that important discussion for later, much later. Expect our final decisions to raise a few eyebrows at the range because everybody in this field has strong opinions. You will need more ammunition than you have ever used as a hunter, but probably not as many as you might use if you are a tactical rifle shooter. In this field, we're going to stress smaller numbers of careful, precisely placed shots thought out in advance after consulting ballistic tables, plus the wind, plus the difference. You know, friends, about ammo, sooner or later you're going to have to reload. Check out my 301 video series on reloading precision rounds. Face it, you must have optics. Iron sights simply will not be adequate. And you probably already have reasonable glass on your deer rifle. No need to spend a great deal of money at this moment on a new scope. I do recommend a minimum of 4 power though. And aside, our military snipers on the O3A4 and the M1D used 2.2 power scopes to good advantage back in the day, but this is today. You do need vigorous mounts, so the stope marriage to the rifle is absolutely rigid. Mounts and glass are not a good place to save money. You've heard me say this in every one of my videos. Your face may be able to take shrapnel and other accidental problems that have happened to us shooters, but eyes are simply not replaceable. If you have vision that does not need to be corrected, that is, you don't need to wear glasses, relatively inexpensive safety glasses will work. Yes, tactical glasses are available, but you may want to save your money for ammunition. And friends, you've got to protect your hearing. The noise level near a firing rifle is absolutely destructive to those delicate nerve cells in your inner ear. Damage them, and when you get to be a bit older, your life will be a series of frustrations as your family and friends attempt to include you into their lives, and all you hear are mumbles. Want a preview of what kind of deafness you're going to have? Ask a friend to read the Second Amendment to you without using any consonants, vowels only. It sounds like this. No fooling. That's what that kind of deafness is like. Earplugs plus muffs, please. The rifle must be steady. A common way to steady your rifle when you're lying down, or for that matter on a shooting bench, is to attach a lightweight bipod to the front of your stock. If you're walking in the hills much, however, you may object to that excessive weight. Fortunately, all of us, especially us seasoned guys and gals, most long-range shooting occurs where the longest trek is from our truck to the shooting bench. You know, instead of a range bag, you might consider bringing your range gear in a backpack. The foam wall backpacks are extremely light. You will only bring what you need, and the backpack functions just anywhere as a solid rifle support, especially when needing to set up for a quick long-range shot. In this image, you see the rifleman holding a buttstock support with his non-dominant hand. This allows him to raise and lower where his rifle is pointing simply by squeezing or relaxing that non-dominant hand. I made this one from a tube sock and some 6mm colored airgun pellets. Of course, a tube sock is definitely not tactical, so you can buy this kind of support if you wish. This is a major agenda item and a major cost. You will need magnification of about 20 to 25 power. Before you buy the spotting scope ocular, that lens closest to your eye, try someone else's at the range. There are essentially two ocular styles. The commonest is a wide view fixed power, about 20-25 power. The other a variable that goes up as high as 60x. I know very few shooters who like the variable. At 60x, the exit pupil is so tiny it's difficult to focus on under field condition. Tripods to support the scope are usually less desirable under field conditions than the type of support you see here. We'll talk more about the support problem when we get to the range in later videos. And of course, you can buy other accessories. Our field is blessed with imaginative inventors who create shooter candy for us. For now, though, I recommend you stick just with this basic equipment. If you look into the how and why of the military sniper brotherhood, you will realize it is always a team effort. A spotter, usually the more experienced person, and the person on the trigger. Go to a match, however, you'll see shooters on the line alone. They're almost always prone, with the rifle tucked into their dominant side shoulder, their spotting scope set up to the opposite side. You'll see them shoot, then roll slightly to the left to look for their hole in the target. And yes, you can do this, but your skills acquisition will progress so much faster if you shoot with a partner. Again, military snipers go out as a two-person team, shooter and spotter. For any new shooter, it's almost impossible to quickly recover the scope sight picture at the intermediate distances we are going to begin with. The spotter, however, will see the strike of your bullet on target as well as the disturbance of wind as the bullet travels to that target. So your spotter can give you instant feedback. As I'll point out later, saying it so frequently that you'll get sick of hearing me, determining the wind's effect on your bullet is by far the most difficult skill to learn. A word about that, partner. Not everyone is compatible. It's like getting a wife. It's going to take you a while, but the search is worthwhile. The way the partnership works in our shooting world is that the partners simply take turns at each position. All right, let me sum up here. We find snipers everywhere today. YouTube posts, movies, snipers have become interesting heroes and seem to be everywhere, making those really, really long-range shots. It's hard to believe some of those shots, isn't it? Perhaps a little scientific skepticism is worthwhile watching the videos. Finally, a word about my last point. Bringing scientific method into our sport. We're all conditioned when those words, science and scientific method, come to think of geeky guys and gals in laboratories. It's not so. Scientific method is just a way to find the truth. And where better than a shooting range do we need to find out the truth, what's really real? With so much info out there and so many strong expert opinions about the how-to of these skills we're trying to acquire, you may wonder, importantly, you should wonder, whom to believe. Certainly read all you can, ask the experts, but be scientifically skeptical. I'll show you how to make yourself your own expert. Friends, in the next videos, let me show you how to learn this wonderful skill set by teaching you to experiment, to analyze. Then trust your own observations. Make your own conclusions. I guarantee it is only with your own experiments that you can work out the, quotes, how-tos and the, quotes, what really works for you and your specific body build. My goal is to teach you to use scientific methods, rational thinking, careful analysis, to find out how to make those long-range hits. Also, friends, you can see I'm not an expert. Head not shaved, no goatee, no wraparound sunglasses, not a single tattoo. I am definitely not tactical. I'm just a scientist, a guy who likes to shoot. Now that you have all your equipment in hand, in the next video we will tune all of this equipment called your platform to you and your own individual body build. That tuning, that optimizing will create an integrated, effective, powerful system, a system that can reach out there and touch that target at distances until now you have only dreamed about. It's going to take more time and thought and practice and experimenting than you might believe. Nonetheless, I can assure you that this method, this melding of your equipment to you, will lead you to long-range success on those far, far, far away targets. Thanks. Now let's go on to video 2.